Good morning. My name is Jenna Kern-Ruggiel, and my pronouns are she and her. I am the worship associate this morning. I'm pleased to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Huntington, which we also call the UUFH. Hello to those of you who are watching us on Zoom now or later on YouTube. I'd like to extend a special welcome to newcomers. If you are new to our congregation and want to speak with someone to learn more about us, please visit our welcome table in the social hall or speak to one of the greeters you met on your way in. Today is the third of our Summer Sunday series. We have an intriguing array of speakers all summer, including UUFH members, community leaders, and a guest minister. Before you leave today, pick up the flyer in the back of the room or look for it on our website at uufh.org. As we settle into worship, know that whoever you are, whomever you love, and wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. Our speaker today is Martha Ketteridge, a UUFH member who has studied and practiced mindfulness, meditation, and yoga for over a decade. She completed the mindfulness-based stress reduction teacher training program under the guidance of John Kabat-Zinn and has also completed yoga teacher training. She has led classes in mindfulness meditation, yoga, and yoga nidra. Through personal and professional experience as a nurse practitioner, Martha has come to understand and appreciate the power of the breath.
Good morning. This morning, Nina will light our chalice. The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. We kindle the flame of our faith in the cup of our covenant. Our chalice lighting words are Wind, Water, Sun by Seth Carrier Ladd. Wind that whispers through the willow trees, sun that sustains us, water that washes over the willing earth and the weathered stones, a smile shared and savored, a child's squeal of delight as she dances in the daisies and daffodils, the quiet joy of gathered community. This is the spirit of life and love that we call forth now into this gathering. May this spirit infuse our hearts, fill our souls, and carry us forward like a wave on the ocean as we enter into this sacred time and space. Come, let us worship together.
And now please join us in singing our affirmation. The words will be on the screen. For this time, our Moments of the Heart, you are invited to light a candle for something deep in your heart today. Nancy, today's pastoral care associate, will join us at the candles in front with a basket for you to write joys and concerns on cards that you'd like shared with the congregation. Please be mindful to only share your own news, to share with permission, or to share without names. As the music plays, I invite you to come forward or go to the candle table in the back. In memory of one of many cousins, does it say Mark? Merrick Heinemann, all descended from Marcus Heinemann, who died on July 1st, 2025. We have a card that says, please sit with us Tuesday and Friday at 10 a.m. I'm thinking that's for meditation. Okay. Pray for our country, torn apart by disagreements among our people and threats to democracy. In loving memory of my beloved husband, on the anniversary of your death, we miss you. Ben Moskowitz will have his replacement surgery tomorrow, bringing an end to his hip-related issues. Ben appreciates all the love and good wishes received so far, and he welcomes cards, texts, and social media posts for support and love. And finally, Danielle and Beth are excited to be expecting a baby boy in September. Now, please take a moment to settle in, taking some long, peaceful breaths as you listen to these words by Matt Alsbrough. Breathe with me. Breathe with me the breath of life. Inhale, inspire, inspiration. Ruach, Pneuma, Spiritus, the holy breath, the Holy Spirit, the many names for breath. Breathe with me and breathe the breath of Jesus, of Moses, of Muhammad, of the Buddha. Breathe with me and know that we are all interdependent, that the spirit of life flows through all. Breathe with me as we come together to do the holy work of interconnection and relationship, that our work here may be blessed. Amen. And now please join in singing Spirit of Life. The words will be on the screen.
So time for all ages, which we are all. This is a fable called The Swarm of the Senses. And the term prana, just so that we know, is synonymous with breath, which is also synonymous with life force energy. Once upon a time, prana was having an argument with the mind and the senses. Each of them claimed to be the most important part of the body, and they behaved like a swarm of angry bees, noisily competing for the body's attention. Prana warned the others, "Don't be deluded. I am the one who keeps the body alive. I sustain life by dividing myself fivefold." But in their conceits, the mind and the senses refused to believe her. In an attempt to settle the dispute, they decided to try an experiment. Each of them, in turn, would leave the body and remain away for 1 year. On returning, they would judge whose absence had the greatest influence on the body. Speech left first. When she returned, she asked, how did you do without me? The others replied that, although the body had been mute, they had all been fine. Next, sight left for a year, and the body carried on, though it was blind. And when hearing left, the body was deaf, but nevertheless remained alive and healthy. Even when mind left, the body survived, despite being unconscious. Finally, the time came for prana to leave the body. As she began to make her departure, the mind and all the senses felt their energy ebbing away with her. They simply could not resist the force of prana and were drawn to follow her like a swarm of bees, accompanying their queen out of the hive. As a result, the body began to die. Needless to say, the mind and all the senses apologized for their initial arrogance and begged prana to stay. They agreed unanimously that prana was truly the most important part of the body. So we see that prana, which is the life force energy, infuses all the faculties of our body, and that we need their energy to function. And it kind of goes counter to our thinking that the mind controls all our senses. But we realize the mind is not terribly disciplined. We'll eat a cookie, our taste buds will want something long after we really need it, or we'll stay up late because our eyes and our ears want to take in more of a show when we know we have to get up early in the morning. So if we want to control our lives, and if the best way to do that is to control the prana, and if you want to control your prana, the best place to begin is by controlling the breath, because your breath is the most tangible manifestation of prana.
Our reading today is The Freedom to Doubt by Paul Stefan Dodenhoff. The freedom to doubt, to question, to be content to live in mystery is central to the liberal religious tradition. Like the process of evolution itself, the path that we follow, our practice, if you will, is not easy or simple. It isn't without its dead ends or its disappointments. It doesn't guarantee that all our conclusions will be final or that we will ever find an answer to all of our questions. But also like the process of evolution, it is filled with great expressions of beauty and awe that are sometimes born of great struggle and at other times come as unexpected grace.
So why the breath? What's so special about it? It's always happening automatically since we've taken our first. It's kind of boring if you think about it, always doing the same thing, entering and leaving our body, nothing special or exciting. We really never think about it much until we can't breathe so well. Then we notice. Then we become very aware of the breath. The breath gets our attention. My journey with the breath has been present as long as all of yours has, since I took my first. The past decade or so has greatly influenced and expanded my awareness of the breath, as well as the role it plays in our health and well-being, both emotional and physical. In 2012, as you heard, I studied mindfulness with John Kabat-Zinn at a week-long retreat and continued that practice by completing the MBSR program, teacher training, over a 2-year period. And in 2017, I completed a 9-month yoga teacher training program. And both of these were life-changing for me in the most positive way. However, being at the Shivananda Yoga Ashram in the Bahamas, I know, tough place, is where the experiential aspect of breath work took hold for me, as well as becoming interested in yoga philosophy. The subtle and obvious act of breathing, the physical inhalation and exhalation, the breath, or prana, as the yogic texts and teaching define it, is quite beautiful and all-pervasive, and I hope to share some of that with you today. So prana was first documented about 3,000 years ago in India and China, and at that time it became the foundation of medicine. Chinese call it qi, Japanese ki, the Greeks pneuma, Hebrews ra, Iroquois orenda, and so on. And they found that if this flow of energy becomes blocked, the body would begin to exhibit symptoms of illness. And if you're unable to maintain levels of prana or energy to support our body's functioning, we die. There were many ways to maintain a steady flow of prana that were developed over the millennia, though none are as powerful and effective as the breath, to inhale prana and to breathe. Breathing techniques were so fundamental to prana and to the other ancient terms for prana that they are synonymous with breathing. When we breathe, we expand our life force. In every culture and in every medical tradition before ours, healing was accomplished by moving energy. This was said by scientist Albert Szent-Györgyi, who earned a Nobel Prize for his groundbreaking work on vitamin C, and he was the director of the National Foundation for Cancer Research during the 40s and 50s, where he spent years investigating the role of cellular respiration in the body. His work's goal was to understand how the breath we take into our bodies interacts with our tissues, organs, muscles on a subatomic level. He wanted to know how life gained energy from air. He found and reinforced what yogis know, that breathing slow, less, and through the nose balances the level of respiratory gases in the body and sends the maximum amount of oxygen to the maximum amount of tissues, so our cells have the maximum amount of energy. The yogic teachings link breath with prana, or life force energy, as we saw in the Swarm of the Senses fable. And we all know that life cannot be sustained for very long without oxygen. Deepening our understanding beyond the physical respiratory system, our whole being is affected by the breath. Your breath is the interface between your body and your mind. It can be thought of the barometer of your emotional state. If you think about it, every thought you have, every action you take, and emotion you experience influences your breathing. We can notice how feeling anxious, agitated, frustrated, or heartbroken can all change our pattern of breathing. And by changing your breathing, you can also direct this life force energy and influence your state of mind as well as your physical state. This is what the practice called pranayama is. Pranayama, which is a Sanskrit word which translates to control of the breath. These practices are an intentional use of the breath to create an effect on the body and mind of the person practicing them. One of the most powerful examples is one that Tibetan monks use when they're meditating up high in the Himalayan mountains in their caves to keep their body heat high so they don't die, so they stay alive in these caves. So there's actually a practice that can increase the body heat. but others are just as powerful in helping to calm the mind and reduce stress in our everyday lives. And I'd like to share one of them with you now. So I feel that of all the practices out there, this is one the most helpful to all of us at any time, particularly though during our breath holding times that we're living in. It's an example of a pranayama practice, the breath control. I call it ratio breathing or 2-to-1 breathing, and it helps to develop a long, full exhalation, which in turn helps us take a fuller, nourishing inhalation. And this is one that physiologically activates the relaxation response in the nervous system, helping us to let go of mental stressors, physical tension, and negative emotions. It's not a foo-foo there, it actually does trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, so it puts the brake on the fight or flight response, and it activates what we call the rest and digest response. So I'd like to lead you all in this. So to begin the practice, just take a posture that's upright and relaxed. And if you're able to, just gently seal your lips and allow your eyes to gently close or bring your gaze downward. Allow your breath to be smooth with minimal pause between your inhalation and exhalation. Just breathe normally and notice the length of your natural inhale. Just your natural breath, nothing exaggerated. This is the count you would use for your inhalation if you were practicing on your own. And the length and count of the exhalation would be twice as long. Just for guiding you as a group, I'm going to use the count of 3 for an inhale and 6 for the exhale. If you find you're able to extend that count on your own, or if for some reason it's uncomfortable and you're not able to do that count, just listen to your body and do what's comfortable for you. So I'll lead you for a count in a few cycles and then leave you to practice on your own. So continuing with your eyes closed, breathing in and 2 and 3 and out, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. In and 2 and 3, out and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. In and 2 and 3 and out and 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And continue on your own for a few cycles. And then at the end of your next exhale, just continue your normal pattern of breathing. And then when you're ready, just opening your eyes. And then just taking a minute to notice if there's any difference in how you feel before you practice that and after, how you're feeling now. So this is a practice you can do anytime for 1 to 3 minutes. The wonderful thing about the breath is it's free, it's available, it's right under your nose, and it's just anytime you need it. So what does everyday breathing look and feel like? So there are some qualities to healthy breathing that allow the body to take in the maximum amount of energy. One of them is nose breathing, which they found is very important. Do you breathe through your nose or your mouth? So unless you have a cold or doing some vigorous exercise, always try to breathe through your nose. This helps to filter air, natural filters in the respiratory system, and clear your air of your oxygen of any bacteria or impurities, and it also keeps your sinuses healthy. There's a book called Breath, The New Science of a Lost Art by James Nestor, which does much research on the breath as well as using himself as a research subject. So it's quite entertaining. So if you're interested in that, I do recommend taking a look at that book called Breath, The New Science of a Lost Art. Very interesting read. And then when you breathe, do you notice if your breath is shallow or deep? Most of us use only the upper portion of our lungs, and ideally the breath should be diaphragmatic in nature. And you can check that by placing your hands on your abdomen and noticing if they rise or fall, to see if the breath is going into diaphragm. Do you inhale fully? Are you expanding the lungs fully so that you're able to exhale? And like I said before, taking a nourishing, full inhalation to sustain the body. And very often, there are times where we are holding our breath. You know, I had said before, in the times we're living in, listening to the news, getting emails we're not crazy about, getting global conflicts, personal life things, whether they be health, finances, relationships. When this happens, we're just holding our breath and not even realizing it. And this can create stress in the body, and if prolonged, can create a state of chronic stress in our bodies. So the good news is that there are breathing practices, like the pranayama practice, that can counteract the stress reaction in our body, like the ratio breathing we practice. And there's tons of apps out now, Calm, Headspace, with different kinds of practices to help reduce stress and tension. And so we can also explore and do a short practice to notice how our body is breathing. What do we notice in our own breathing patterns? So we're going to do a small awareness of breath practice. So again, I invite you to begin by just sitting comfortably with a straight and relaxed spine, and gently close your eyes or bring your gaze downward, and just allow your hands to rest wherever they're comfortable. And allow your mind to let go of anything that's come before this moment, and let go of any thoughts about the moment that may follow. Just bringing attention and awareness now to the sensation of the breath as it enters the body. Where do you notice the breath? Is it a coolness at the nostrils? Maybe a tingling at the back of the throat? Maybe the chest rising, the belly filling? And then becoming aware of the sensation as the breath leaves the body. Maybe the belly deflates, the chest falls, or there's a warmth at the nostrils. Just notice the breath as it is, not needing to make it any different than it is right now. Just notice the natural rising and falling away of each breath. And now maybe bringing attention to the quality of the inhalation. Is the breath shallow or deep? Noticing if the breath is smooth, is it even, or maybe irregular? And is the exhale longer than the inhale, or the inhale longer than the exhale? Just continuing to allow the breath to breathe you, one breath following the next. And also noticing if the mind has wandered off, as it will, because that's what the mind does. Without any judgment or criticism, gently bring your attention back to the breath. Just the sensation of the inhalation and the sensation of the exhalation. And maybe being curious about the transition point between the inhalation and exhalation. the peak where the exhale becomes an inhale, and then the inhale becomes the exhale. Noticing the breath like a wave on the ocean, the breath rising and naturally falling away. And now gently opening your eyes and ending the exercise. And also, again, just take a moment to notice. Oftentimes when focusing on the breath, it's not an easy thing to do. People become uncomfortable, notice the mind running. So this is also something that the breath can show us. That's also the power of the breath. The mindfulness teacher Joseph Goldstein says, if you want to know your mind, observe it. Not so easy. So I hope I've been able to illuminate some reasons why our breath is so important. The breath that breathes us, the breath that keeps us alive in the physical and energetic bodies. The gift of the breath is the gift of awareness, awareness of what is happening in our bodies, in our minds, and in our lives. It can be revelatory and transformational should we accept the assignment of deepening our curiosity about it. The ancient yoga texts have two references to prana. One is the individual prana, which we explored and touched on a bit this morning. But there is also cosmic prana. And cosmic prana is the energy of the universe that connects us to all life, connects us to all life force energies that we share this planet with. All beings that share our atmosphere, those releasing the oxygen and elements we take in, and those taking in the carbon dioxide and other elements that we release. This all happens in our energetic dance of prana, alive in the vitality of giving and receiving life force energy. We coexist in this universe of energies unseen, life force that supports networks of living species, trees, rainforests, ocean life, insect world, breath and prana infusing the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. And so it is. Namaste. So the following musical selection does not have video or lyrics to it, but if you can listen fully and possibly appreciate the reference to the cosmic prana that we are imbued with. Thank you.
On this bright and healthy morning, I want to sing my song, let it be sung. And as I let it fly out into the world, let it be known I hear the music in all things today. The dance is on. I lay down on the ground in the garden. Let the earth crawl up into my clothes. Stared up at the sky and we fell together. dance is on. All the world is conspiring for me. The dance, everything, everywhere nourishes my growth. The dance is on. Let it be known that I can hear the music in all things. Today it's on. Today it's on. This one's for me. This one's for me. The bees are buzzing for me. The dance, even the distant train is calling my name. The breeze is orchestrating complicated ballet between the leaves. The dance is on. The dance is on. This one's for me. All the world is conspiring for me. The dance, everything, everywhere nourishes my growth. The dance is on. Let it be known that I can hear the music in all things. Today it's on. Today it's on. This one's for me. Spiders are making rainbows between the colored greens and the sun. There's a hummingbird calling up in his tree. I can hear his wings from way over here. They beat for me. They beat for me. This one's for me. This one's for me. This one's for me. This one's for you too. This one's for you, and this one's for me. This one's for me.
Thank you, Martha, for that lovely way to begin our day. I've asked Martha to personally visit me every morning and every bedtime, and she has agreed, and all of you may sign up. There's a sheet at the back of the room. Each week, we have an offering for our split plate program. That means that undesignated donations are split between the UUFH and our charity of the month unless you indicate otherwise. This month, we're supporting Engage Long Island, which was originally created as Long Islanders for Gun Safety in response to the tragedy in Parkland. They relaunched as Engage Long Island to better reflect their broader mission and goals. As a grassroots group, they mobilize volunteers to stand up for vulnerable communities and shared progressive ideals, engaging with voters and advocating on issues such as gun violence prevention, reproductive freedom, protecting democracy, and LGBTQ+ rights. Ushers will be passing the baskets while Dylan plays. For those of you at home, You can send a check to the office or donate through the website, Zelle, or PayPal. Thank you all for your support of the work we do within and beyond these walls.
As Jenna extinguishes the chalice, some words by Julia Fehrenbacher. Go gently today. Don't hurry or think about the next thing. Walk with the quiet trees. Can you believe how brave they are? How kind? Model your life after theirs. Blow kisses at yourself in the mirror, especially when you think you've messed up. Forgive yourself for not meeting your unreasonable expectations. You are human, not God. Don't be so arrogant. Praise fresh air, clean water, good dogs. Spin something from joy. Open a window, even if it's cold outside. Sit. Close your eyes. Breathe. Allow the river of it all to pulse through eyelashes, fingertips, bare toes. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe until you feel your bigness, until the sun rises in your veins. Breathe until you stop needing anything to be different.
If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just wanna be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I know I don't know, and I know I only do this by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind.
Once again, thank you, Martha, for a very peaceful, lovely service, and thank you to Dylan for music, always wonderful. So just a few announcements before we head back for, I don't know if it's coffee or juice, but for something and refreshments. So next week's service is titled Literacy at the Core of Democracy. Our guest speaker, Susan Shaloni, Executive Director of Literacy Suffolk, will talk about how the organization's advocacy impacts immigrants and others in our communities and why it matters now more than ever. Please join us at noonish today in the social hall to make protest signs. We will provide poster boards, markers, and snacks. Come ready to brainstorm your wittiest slogans and most passionate messages. Let us gather together as a community to lean on each other, uplift each other, and get ourselves ready for the protests ahead. Finally, speaking of protests, this coming Thursday, which is the anniversary of John Lewis's death, you'll have a chance to bring your signs to a mass nationwide rally near us at the corner of Jericho Turnpike and Route 110 from 5:30 to 7 p.m. We'll put our principles on display and make what Lewis called some good trouble. Have a great weekend.